Hi, everyone. I just wanted to take a minute now that we are deep into our first week here in LNG 101 to welcome you, introduce myself, give you I guess, an animated face and voice to put to the name and more information about me. I'm Assistant Professor Matthew Leverins of our Applied Linguistics program, and I'm really excited to be your host on this hopefully fruitful and definitely interesting and complex exploration of all things related to linguistics. Um, it's an amazing field. I'm very excited to be working with you. This is an area near and dear to my heart, obviously, and that I think has a million practical applications no matter what field you go into. Whether you want to go abstract with it or whether you want to be hands-on, um, I think linguistics has something to offer everyone. Although, admittedly, I've drank the Kool-Aid. So, anyway, great to meet you. You can read more about me in the instructor section, so I won't go too much into personal details or anything now, other than to just say that I'm here to help you. The stuff that we're covering is fascinating, but it's challenging, and I'm here to help you every step of the way. So please keep in touch. I'll try to post videos each week to supplement the guidance that I already do post, just to kind of maybe try to help elaborate ideas. I also really encourage you to call me. I've got a work number listed in a couple of places, and I monitor that throughout my work day. But I also check it, after hours, and depending on what's going on the weekends. Can't always make promises, but no matter what, I do promise I'll try to get back to you within 24 hours at the most if I see that you've called with a question or need some assistance. Although most likely I'll see it very soon right after you call and call you right back if I miss your call. Point being, a phone call can often really resolve an issue a lot faster than an email exchange. And especially if your question is about some of the complex information that we're going to be discussing here. I feel like, 5 weeks is just barely enough time to scratch the surface of the giant world that is linguistics. And to that end, we will be covering a lot of complicated material in a short amount of time, and you're not always going to have a lot of time to digest it per se. So please feel free to reach out to me via phone, email, text, FaceTime, whatever. We can Skype, carrier pigeon, Pony Express, Steam Train if you can find one. Uh, I want you to know that I'm here for you as a resource, and so I want my expertise to benefit you and help you grow, each of you as budding linguists, as you move towards your goal of getting that degree. So, a few things then towards that end. It's week one this week, so we're getting things underway, but at the same time, because of that aforementioned very brief 5 week schedule, we're also plunging right in. So it's sort of a mix between like, getting to know everything and hey, here's everything. Don't forget to post your introduction, do your discussion posts, etc. Um, we cover 4 chapters in the text this week. This text is important to the class. It's our main text. Um, I have I'm experimenting for the first time with some resources provided by the publisher that I think might be interesting, and I'm going to try to see if I can flip the camera around to show you these. I may just have to uh, turn the camera around. Anyway, it's called CourseMate, and it's provided by the publishers of the text. Now, it won't be any extra work that you have to do or anything like that. It's purely resources to help you understand the material. And what's kind of cool is it creates a little course shell, kind of like the course that we already have for our course, but it's like just for the textbook. And I will send you a URL link to that with a passcode that helps you access that course. Now, you have to have bought the book to be able to access this. They made sure of that. It's not a free workaround to get out of reading the book, but there are a ton of good resources in there, including an electronic version of the book. So there's an ebook in there. Let me see if I can put this tab up real quick. Where are you? Let me just see if I can. This is showing up. Well, it's probably. I'm realizing now it's probably backwards on my screen, so this is it's probably weird, an exercise in futility perhaps. But anyway, So you've got chapter ebooks, flashcards, a glossary, interactive quizzes, and further web links. And in my experience, the flashcards, the and the interactive quizzes are really great because you can test yourself on the material. Furthermore, they provide me as the instructor with some great PowerPoints that sum up and highlight each of the chapters. So I'm going to be sending those out to you via email here shortly for this week, so that you'll have this at least an overview of what's covered in the chapter. It really helps elucidate some of that material. As far as the stuff covered, we're getting right into the meat of things with morphology, semantics, pragmatics. I think we touch on phonology here. Let me look up what the course resources or objectives. So this week we essentially look at what is language and how does it work, right? How do all these words come together to make meaning, and how can you systematically observe them across languages? There's a scientific core and study to language, and as I mentioned in my instructor guidance, we can thank old Ferdinand de Saussure for that. So it's a relatively recent discipline, but it's scientific and a discipline nonetheless. So some of the things that we do explore this week, topic-wise. Let's see here. It looks like from the textbook you'll read chapters 1 through 4, and that'll cover what is language, the essentials, phonemes, things like that. The phonemes are the smallest units of language with which we string together words. You look at morphology, the words of a syntax, or the words of a language, how we string together morphemes, phonemes to create morphemes. And morphemes are comprised of phonemes, and morphemes are the smallest units of sound with significant meaning for the speaker. A slight distinction from the earlier more phonemes as smallest units of sound that are recognized by a speaker. It's pretty complicated, but interesting. Then we'll move on into syntax, how the sentence patterns of language work together. And then finally, a brief exploration of the meaning of language, or semantics. And semantics has two levels, semantics and pragmatics. Semantics is what words mean at the surface level, and pragmatics is what they mean at the actual level. So, semantically, when you've hired a building contractor to do some remodeling on your home, and you ask him, when is it going to be finished? Semantically, when he says 2 weeks, he means 14 days from when he said, at the semantic level. But, as we all know, at the pragmatic level, the level of what that really means, when your contractor says, oh, it'll be done in 2 weeks, he means 2 months if you're lucky. There's the difference. So, anyway, a brief bit about that. Trying to think if I'm forgetting anything. I've read everything off my list. I just wanted to say hi, welcome. I'm really excited about working with each of you. Please stay in close touch. You'll never be bothering me. Hit me up anytime, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. This is great stuff that we're going to be exploring, and I'm really excited about working with you. I will send you the URLs and pass keys for our course, which will allow you to access that CourseMate course from the publisher via email. Although, as I mentioned, you will probably still need some kind of another key from your actual text or proof of purchase or something. This is my first time doing this, so we'll see how it goes. And regardless, I'm going to be forwarding you those PowerPoints as well. So, again, Professor Matthew Leverins, I look forward to working with you, and let's explore linguistics. All right, have a good day. Oh yeah, and go Cubbies! How did I forget that? Oh, was that a game or what? I can't believe it. I've been a Cubs fan for 15 years now, and I kind of gave up on them after a while. I didn't even watch much of the series because I was too scared of being heartbroken, but I knew I had to watch this final game, and it was worth watching, definitely. That's what baseball was all about. If only every baseball game was that good, for those of you who watch baseball. And I'm more of a Cubs fan than I am an actual baseball fan, so anyway, see you guys.